Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. I'm Erin, and for today's video I'm going to be reading part 2 of the Reddit creepy story that I had read before, which is I've been seeing a man in my backyard for the past 2 days. So if you haven't watched the first video, I would recommend going back and watching that first and then coming back and watching this one, because this is a continuation of that story. Alright. Here we go. Hi everyone. For anyone who has been reading this, I am alive and well, but far from safe. As my neighbor and I were waiting for the coast to be clear, I saw my garage door open at approximately 3:27 a.m., and right then, my neighbor and I booked it to his car. As we were leaving, I saw the light turn on in my bathroom, and I nearly threw up, realizing how easily he got in, and how I had been just a sitting duck an hour prior. I've been fantasizing over and over of how, if I stayed in there, my neighbors would have called me, telling me that he was in my driveway, and I would have heard my garage door opening with dread, just knowing I was absolutely screwed. Once we were in the car, we sped off to the police station. Police gave me the usual rundown of questions in this type of situation, like whether I knew the man, where my first encounter with him was, and whether I could identify his car, / if I managed to write down his license plate. I told him he had only come 2 times prior, and that both times it was too dark to tell, even with the street light. When the man had parked in my driveway, one of my neighbors, who had still been on the lookout, said she saw that the car was a gray Volkswagen with no license plate. She went on to say she saw the man type in a code to my garage, go inside, and turn on each of my lights, as though he was checking the whole house. The man had stayed there for 5 minutes, according to her, and proceeded to get back in his car without taking anything and sped off down my street. She notified the police immediately, and they have been searching for him since then. It's pretty creepy. Alright, let's keep going. Nothing has come up. We returned to find that the house was left relatively unscathed. The police didn't even find even a trace of DNA. Whoever this man was, he was meticulous as all hell, and somehow had gained the knowledge of what my garage code was. It makes me shiver to think he may have been watching me even as I typed it in earlier this week. God only knows what other knowledge he has to track me down. My parents have still yet to return home from their trip, as their plane was delayed, so as of right now I'm all alone and still at a hotel with only a bottle of Jack Daniels to console me. A couple police cars have been stationed around the area of my house looking for the guy, and they are all waiting upon his arrival. I'm not leaving this hotel until this guy is caught. I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight. I'm hoping that this is the night that he finally can't track me. The police have advised me to stop using any form of social media that can be indicative of where I am. That means no Snapchat, no Instagram, no Facebook. Nothing. They told me that I can use my laptop as long as I remain as low profile as possible. This means all I can do now is wait for the police to call me and tell me that the stalker has been caught. Now I'm going to try and figure out just who this guy is and why he might be stalking me. Theory 1. My 9th grade Italian teacher. So I went to a private school, and this teacher had basically been one of the biggest lunatics I'd ever met in the school system. He was very outspoken in the way he described politics, and very mean-spirited during his time teaching. He would always make fun of students, had sometimes fallen asleep in class, and would always make perverted comments toward the girls I knew. So one day, I decided to write an email to the dean asking him to please fire the man from his teaching position and explaining the unacceptable behavior he had while working. It worked, and I have never seen the man since. Now, the reason I think he could be a possibility is because he never particularly liked me. In fact, I feel as though he singled me out in a lot of instances and picked on me. I don't know if he ever found out I sent the email, but if he did, I'm extremely worried. I can't tell if it was him or not when he spoke in my backyard, as I was in full adrenaline mode while I was screaming at him. I would say this is not a likely suspect, but I'm just not sure. Theory 2. My Christian deacon from back in 2nd grade. I used to be part of this church program a while back when I was in elementary school. Out of all the head figures there, one that always stood out to me, Deacon Anthony. He was a middle-aged man, very soft-spoken, and he had always been very particularly nice to me and my friend Kevin. He would often bring us candy, talk to us about our home life, and treated us more fairly than the rest of the kids. One day my friend Kevin told me that Deacon Anthony asked Kevin if he wanted to go home with him and hang out. Kevin said no to him and told me. I told my parents about this, and they had immediately contacted the church and told them about it. After that, I never saw Deacon Anthony again. My parents later told me that they had contacted the board and he was removed from the church. If this is the guy, he must have had a massive personality shift after that incident, because the way the man happily told me to have a nice day did not match up with the one he had when I was younger. Theory 3. My classmate Derek from 8th grade. Derek was one of those insecure types who would always get off to making other people feel small. He was your standard 8th grade middle school bully who deserved nothing more than a good butt whooping, which unfortunately never came. However, what did happen was I started a rumor about him that I wish to not bring up, but it pretty much ruined his reputation and made him a laughingstock. He never found out it was me as far as I could tell, but from what I heard from my hometown while I went off to public school, is that our local public high school, the rumor hadn't stopped, and he turned into one of those quiet kids who never talked. Keep in mind, this kid literally had told my whole friend group to stop hanging out with me, so as far as I can tell, this revenge was extremely justified in my mind. This may in fact be the prime suspect, as he would most likely know where I live. I tried finding any sort of social media about him, but nothing came up. This guy is a ghost, and I have no idea what he's been up to. Theory 4. Some complete stranger who I have no association with. Maybe this is just a genuine old-school stalker who takes pride in picking out their prey from random crowd. No one I've seen in this town for the past week has seemed particularly odd. The only one that comes to mind was this weird cashier at 7-Eleven who seemed particularly in love with his job. He may have some form of Asperger's syndrome, or just maybe he just takes pride in being a cashier, but he's always very polite with his customers when he had been interacting with them. I had gone in to get a soda from the fountain, and as the store was empty, he asked me, "Hey, is that all you're getting?" I said, "Yeah, this is all." So he continues, "Oh, well, congratulations. It's free." I thought, sweet, free soda. This guy is awesome. I thanked him a ton as he was smoking a cigarette outside, and I said, "Have a good one," and left. Now I know what you all must be thinking. This is definitely the guy. He's a freaking cashier, for crying out loud. Well, I am just not sure. This guy was probably in his 30s, seemed extremely grateful for his low-end job, and just seemed content with what he had. He didn't strike me as a stalker, but then again, I haven't been back to the store since, so he may be still there or not there at all. Time will tell. I might have to stop by tomorrow and do a little more investigating. As we speak, it's 11 p.m. again, and I'm staring out my hotel window scrolling through Reddit. I'm still dreading the moment I see a car with flashing high beams pulling in the parking lot, so I'll probably just be looking out my window all night again. I'll post more updates if necessary. Appreciate you all. Bye for now. Edit. 12:43 a.m. I'm reading all your comments, guys, and just so you guys know, I can't get a hold of a gun as easily as most of you think. I live in a state where that does not fly. The best thing I have right now is pepper spray and a baseball bat. Edit. 1:37 a.m. Call me a lunatic, but I left my room to get some fresh air. I couldn't stand being in this small hotel room one more second. I was bugging out like crazy, though. Every person I saw seemed like a threat to me. I started talking with this one guy in the hotel lobby. Says he's been traveling from state to state on some sort of self-indulged journey across the country. I asked him if he had any experiences with stalkers, and he told me that he had been receiving anonymous calls a couple years back from some guy. I asked if he has ever encountered one in his backyard or anything, and he just looked at me funny. I explained to him the situation, and he wished me the best of luck. Nothing out of the ordinary, but it was nice to have some real human interaction while I am losing my mind. Edit. 1:46 a.m. Alright, one of the janitors must be messing with me. I spent the last 10 minutes searching for my phone and asked someone outside my room to call it for me. I listened for the ringing, and it was in the effing safe, and the password is not the one they gave me. What the heck? This is ridiculous. Whoever did this is going to get torn a new one. I'm going to the manager right now to get this sorted out. Edit. 2:08 a.m. I'm demanding a different room. I am not staying in the same effing room one more second. The whole staff is in there now trying to figure out the safe password. Meanwhile, the manager is looking for the janitors who have been in my room to ask what the heck they were thinking. F this. I'm tired, I'm worried, and now I just lost my effing phone. Edit. 2:24 a.m. It's not the garage code, guys. I checked. Even if it was, why would it be, and how would the effing stalker get into my hotel room, let alone rewire the safe? Edit. 2:26 a.m. Guys, I'm not leaving the hotel, okay? I already paid the money to stay here. I don't have any other place to go that's not 100 miles away. I have no car. I got here in an Uber, and at least here there's over 100 people staying here. The stalker is not going to come into a hotel full of people. Edit. 2:40 a.m. Okay, now you guys have me worried. I'm sitting in my hotel room all alone with no phone. No way to call an Uber. No way to call the police. I'm starting to think one of the janitors got bribed to do this. I now not only have no way of driving away from here, but I have no way of contacting any family or anyone for that matter of getting me away from the hotel. I'm going to wait another 45 minutes, and if they don't open the safe, I'm demanding they call an Uber for me, and I'm driving the hell out of here. Edit. 2:53 a.m. Someone just knocked on the door saying the safe is open. I told them all right, and then they asked me to come and get it. I asked him if he can slip it under the door, but he said I need to go get it myself. I told him I would come in a couple minutes and that he'd be waiting. I don't know what to do, guys. You're all screwing with my mind. Edit. 3:10 a.m. The man said that my phone is in the main lobby if I want it. I'm on my laptop next to my window, and I could have sworn out of the corner of my eye I saw a car flashing its high beams. I don't know if I should hold out till morning or get my phone and leave. Edit. 3:14 a.m. Guys, I'm not waiting until 3:24 for this guy to effing come into my room and jump me. I'm packing and getting the hell out of here. I'll keep you guys posted on mobile when I get my phone back. Edit. 3:16 p.m. Alright guys, I'm staying at a friend's place for right now. Just to clarify, when I said not a trace of DNA was found, I meant that there was nothing that was found to trace this guy back, like a glove or fingerprints on the garage keypad. The police did not do a full investigation, obviously. This guy still hasn't been found. My neighbors have told me no one has been back to the house, and my parents are currently staying at my aunt's down south. I got my phone back, and there was a missed call from some guy named Nick Sullivan. What's strange is his name was never put in my contacts. I've never met anybody named Nick Sullivan in my life, and I don't know how it was in there. I tried calling back, and it just went to voicemail. Creepy crap nonetheless. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. I don't know. I'll see if I can make another update tonight. Bye for now. Edit. 4:24 p.m. I just posted an album on Imgur of pictures I took yesterday when I went back to my house. See for yourselves. I'll go ahead and show you guys the pictures from the album. Basically, it's just of the guy's backyard and where the cul-de-sac is and stuff, so you can see where the car supposedly was parked. And this is the final edit for this update. And it doesn't really make too much sense, but maybe it'll bring it all together in the last part. So here's the last edit for this story. Edit. 4:35 p.m. The guy who called my phone wasn't the same guy as Nick Sullivan. I had missed a call from him too, but Nick had also called me. So that's it for this update for this story, guys. I will be posting the last and final part of the updates for this particular story in a couple weeks, so be looking for that. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!